Episode 2: The Sacred Exchange. The village square in Ala Edo buzzed with anticipation as the villagers gathered, draped in garments that echoed the vibrant hues of their surroundings. Ala Edo, the queen and mother to Olanma, stood at the forefront, a beacon of regality and strength. The sun hung high, casting its golden glow over the assembly as they awaited the arrival of their counterparts from AlaAgu. In the distance, the earth began to tremble under the rhythmic thundering of feet, the approach of the AlaAgu delegation. With each step, the ground seemed to vibrate in unison with the mighty pulse of the visitors. The men of AlaAgu emerged as a formidable force of strength and might. Each bore a palm leaf clenched between their lips, a symbol of peace that spoke louder than words. Led by Ikemba, the crown prince of AlaAgu, the procession moved with a disciplined grace. Ikemba, with a countenance carved from the rugged cliffs of AlaAgu, exuded an air of authority and power. His eyes, like obsidian, surveyed the Ala Edo villagers with a mix of curiosity and respect. Without uttering a single word, the AlaAgu delegation performed the necessary rites, a ritual that had been etched into the origins of their shared history. The exchange of the deity, the heart of Agha Uba, unfolded as Ala Edo and Ikemba stood at the center of the sacred square. The air hummed with an energy that transcended the visible realm, a dance of spirits that connected the two villages. Unbeknownst to those gathered, Olanma, the princess with the charming strands of gray and eyes that mirrored the ever-changing sky, stood in the periphery. Her gaze, sharp and perceptive, locked onto Ikemba. As the exchange transpired, her gray eyes, usually hidden behind the veil of her black gaze, glimmered with an ethereal light. Ikemba, though unaware of the enchantment, felt a subtle shift in the atmosphere. Olanma's unintentional charm worked its way into his consciousness, leaving an indelible mark that would echo through the unfolding tale of Agha Uba. With the rites completed, AlaAgu's delegation departed with the same thundering might that heralded their arrival. The echoes of their departure lingered in the air, and the villagers of Ala Edo, while relieved that the exchange had transpired peacefully, couldn't shake the subtle undercurrent of tension that clung to the night. As the dust settled, Olanma, her heart stirred by an inexplicable force, broke into a sprint. Through the hills and under the dusk-lit sky, she pursued the departing AlaAgu delegation with a vigor fueled by an unseen connection. Her eyes, still aglow with the remnants of the exchange, searched for the deity that was now in the custody of AlaAgu. The hills whispered tales of magic and destiny as Olanma, breathless yet determined, chased the vanishing silhouette of the deity until it vanished beyond the horizon. Unbeknownst to her, the threads of fate had woven a connection that went beyond the boundaries of Ala Edo, a connection that would soon unfurl in ways none could predict. The sacred exchange had set the stage for the next chapter in the unfolding saga of Agha Uba. The return of the AlaAgu delegation was met with jubilation in their village. The rhythmic beat of drums filled the air, and the villagers danced with fervor, welcoming the deity of wealth back to its abode in AlaAgu. Enchantments echoed through the night, a celebration of prosperity and the promise of abundance that the deity symbolized. Despite the joyous atmosphere, Crown Prince Ikemba felt an unsettling unease gnawing at the edges of his consciousness. The enchanting dance, the vibrant celebrations, it all failed to dispel the disquiet within him. Seeking solitude, Ikemba excused himself from the revelry and retreated to his chambers. A cold bath, usually a remedy for the fatigue of the day, offered no solace. the uneasiness persisted as a relentless companion that clung to him like an invisible shroud. Determined to shake off the inexplicable discomfort, Ikemba decided to seek counsel from his father, the king. However, upon arriving at the king's chambers, Ikemba was met with a sight that stoked the flames of his frustration. His father, engrossed in the company of his concubines, paid little heed to Ikemba's concerns. Fury welled up within the crown prince, and with a disgusted grimace, he stormed out of the chamber. Driven by an impulse he couldn't quite comprehend, Ikemba found himself drawn to the place where the deity was enshrined in AlaAgu. The magnificent glow of the deity captivated him, momentarily diverting his troubled thoughts. Yet, amid his admiration, Udozo, the keeper of the deity, emerged from the shadows. Udozo, with a knowing smile, congratulated Ikemba on the successful return of the deity. However, the unease that plagued the crown prince was not lost on the keen-eyed keeper. Ikemba, unable to conceal his inner turmoil, confessed the unrest that had seized him since the exchange with Ala Edo. Udozo, a man acquainted with the subtle currents of magic and destiny, spoke of the unseen forces at play. He insinuated that Ikemba had fallen under the spell of one of the women of Ala Edo. Dismissing such notions, Ikemba vehemently denied any influence over him, scoffing at the idea that he, the crown prince of AlaAgu, could succumb to the charms of another. Undeterred, Udozo pressed further. He inquired about Ikemba's eye contact with a particular person during the exchange and questioned if the young princess of Ala Edo had been present. Confirming the encounter, Ikemba's denial wavered, and Udozo, with a sage nod, advised him to accept his fate. Furious, Ikemba rejected the notion, proclaiming vehemently that he would never associate himself with anyone from Ala Edo. He scoffed at the idea of being ensnared by magic, branding the women of Ala Edo as weaklings for resorting to such arts. As the night wore on, Ikemba's internal struggle intensified, setting the stage for a clash between tradition, destiny, and the unyielding pride of a crown prince. The threads of Agha Uba tightened, weaving a tale of unexpected entanglements that would shape the destinies of AlaAgu and Ala Edo in ways they could scarcely imagine.